Hey everybody, it's Rob from VRA Realty Alliance. Today I'm going to be talking with credit repair expert Ramsey Coulter on how you can get your credit score up and maximize it, get into the high sevens, low eights, where you need to be to help you buy a home, whatever you want to do. Let's get into it. Hey Ramsey, how's it going today, man?
Good. It's going great. How about yourself, Rob?
I'm good. Yeah, man. So tell me, I wanted to do a talk with you. I know you're a credit repair specialist and a credit expert. You know, a lot of people come to me and they obviously want to get their credit score way up there so that they can get the best interest rates possible when they go to buy a house, when they go to. Can you tell me about how people can maximize their credit score, what they can do to maximize that credit score, get up there into the, high
Sure.
sevens, low eights?
First way to figure out how to have a good credit score is to know the rules of the game. And so FICO, which is Fair Isaac and Company, that's the most commonly used credit scoring system. Mortgage companies only use FICO scores. They don't use Credit Karma scores or Credit Sesame or Credit Wise. Those are all Vantage versions of credit scores. So FICO is the most commonly used. And so there's five, it's called the FICO 5, the five main factors on how a credit score is calculated. And so that's what you want to know. And so number one, and we hear it all the time, is just pay your bills on time and you're going to have a great credit score. And that is 35% true. 35% of your credit score is created from how do you pay your bills on time, but it has to be bills that pay to report to the credit bureaus. Things that you pay every day or you've been paying since you turned 18, things like rent, things like electric bills, cable bills, internet, cell phone, car insurance, they don't pay, almost never pay to report to the credit bureaus. There are things like Experian Boost nowadays that helps some. The thing is, you need stuff that reports to the credit bureaus. So a student loan, of course, is going to report to all three credit bureaus. An auto loan usually is going to report to all three unless you go to a buy here, pay here dealership. Credit cards, almost all credit card companies nowadays report to all three bureaus. So things like that, they will report to all three. Have those types of accounts and pay them on time.
Pay your bills. That makes sense.
Right. The most common thing about credit, right? Pay your bills. Okay, fine. Got it. Don't go over 30 days late. So once you're 30 days late, that's when that negatively impacts your credit. You can be 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 days late. Technically, there'll be a late fee, but they won't damage your credit until then. Number 2 is what's called debt ratio or credit utilization. How much of your available credit are you utilizing? That's 30% of your score. The majority of that 30% is not just, okay, I have a $250,000 mortgage and I owe $249,000, because if that was the case, everybody would have a bad credit score. Not everybody, right. But when you get a brand new car, you're maxed, that usage is maxed, but it doesn't include things like that. It only includes revolving lines of credit. So that would be a line of credit. That would be a credit card. Whether that's a store credit card, a secured credit card, an unsecured credit card, doesn't matter. It's all factored into that score. And so by not having a credit card open, you are missing a very large chunk. It's safe to say at least a quarter of your credit score is, do you have a credit card and how do you use it? And are you using it properly? And so proper usage is broad. I tell people below 10%. On the internet and everywhere else, people will tell you 30%, 33%, 40%, 50%.
Is there an absolute optimal number that you can have?
According to FICO, the 800ers, the people who have 800 plus credit scores, their utilization is usually anywhere from 1 to 6%. So if you want to get super technical, and believe it or not, 0% utilization, you actually lose some points. It's not a lot, but you actually get penalized for having 0 credit card debt. So
6%. So if I've got a credit card that's got $1,000 limit, I want to use $60 of that.
You got it. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Got it. Yeah, and that's important to understand. I think it's not about car payments. It's not about really anything other than lines of credit. And I think for most people, that's going to be credit cards. So they got to look at, hey, here's my total available credit limits on these credit cards. Take that and multiply it by 0.06, and that's your optimal credit utilization, right?
Right. Yep.
Got it.
Exactly. So now we've already created 65% of your credit score. So that's a huge percentage, right? That's so much. But there's still a few more smaller categories. And so length of credit history is 15%. So FICO, to get that full 15%, FICO wants your average age of a credit account to be 10 years.
Whoa.
So that's insane, right? That's basically, you open up, if you had student loans or a car loan, you open that up. Don't open it. You get a credit card, you get your house, and then you don't open anything else up for a long time, and then you'll be able to get up into the 850 range. But if you like using credit cards or getting new credit cards or rewards cards, or getting free nights at hotels and stuff and doing fun stuff with credit, you're not going to have an 850 credit score. But that's okay because it's more fun. But you got to be careful. I can't say that to everybody.
Right.
You gotta be careful. 1 or 2 credit cards. That's it.
Casino, putting it all in black, right?
Yeah, definitely not. Especially not on a cash advance from a credit card. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so age of credit. So when you open up new credit, there's a reason. It's not just the credit inquiries, which are coming up soon, that damage your credit. It's the age of credit. There's multiple factors on why opening new credit hurts your credit. So have credit, don't have too much, don't open it up too often.
So if I got credit cards that are kind of just hanging out, I mean, I'm better off just leaving them open. That way I have a long history with those, and I'm not like getting a new different credit card and canceling the old credit card every 6 months or whatever. That's not really ideal, right?
Correct. Yeah. We get that call quite a bit. People say, hey, my credit card company just offered me to upgrade to a new card, or I even heard someone say to transfer this credit limit to a new credit card with a higher limit. I said, well, that's interesting. I don't hear that too often. But anyway, as I said, look, as long as they don't close the old account, then fine. That's fine.
Right.
Depending on what your goals are. If you're in the process of home shopping with Rob, you don't do that. You don't open any new credit.
Don't mess up our deals.
Don't do that.
All right, cool.
And then different types of credit. So mix of credits, 10%. It's a small percentage, but 10%. So the question is, do you have a credit card? And have you ever had a loan? Any type of loan, a car loan, a student loan, a personal loan. As long as you've had a loan that reported to the 3 credit bureaus, you can check mark that category for having different types of credit. You don't need a car loan. You don't need all of them to have a mix of credit. That's not.
So 10% is mix of credit, and basically you'd want to have some kind of personal loan or car loan or student loan, and you have a credit card with that optimal 6% credit utilization balance going on. So you got those 2 different types, and then that makes the credit reporting bureau happy.
Right. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be an open loan, as long so if you paid off your student loans 3 or 4 years ago, or 5 or 6 years ago, and it's still on your credit reporting, that it existed, you're getting that mix of credit. So
excellent.
Yeah. And by the way, positive accounts report for 10 years on your credit. So once they're closed, 10 years. Right.
All right. So if you've had a loan within 10 years, you don't need to go out and get another loan.
Correct. Yeah.
Got it.
So, and then the last thing is credit inquiries. And so a lot of lenders reach out to us all the time and say, can you just explain to this person that I need to pull their credit, and it's not going to destroy their credit by doing one credit check? That is a very common. I've had lenders ask me, do you have an article about that? I'm like, no, nobody's written an article about it because inquiries don't matter that much. Like, they're not a big deal. But everybody freaks out. Like, is this going to be a hard credit check? When you call us, no. For credit repair, we are not going to damage your credit to repair your credit. We're not, and it's not much damage. We're talking 0 to 6 points for a credit inquiry. It's not a big deal for the most part. Now, if you've applied 10 different times, well, then that's not good.
My understanding is, like, let's say I'm shopping for a mortgage and I apply with one mortgage company and they do a hard pull on my credit, and then I'm applying with another and they do a hard pull on my credit. As long as that's within some certain time frame, it only counts as one pull. Is that correct?
Yeah, so FICO has what's called deduping, and so it's a smart system. It knows or thinks that, if you apply for 3 different mortgages, you're probably only getting one and you're shopping. And so it's a 14-day window where you can shop around for auto loans and vehicles. It's a 30-day time period, and some of the scoring systems allow 45 days. It just depends on, is it FICO 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. So.
Awesome, man. Well, with all that being said, I know like a lot of people put a lot of energy into getting their credit score up, but where would you say it's like, hey, it's not really worth putting more effort in if you've got X credit score?
Yeah, so once you're in the excellent range, which is really above a 740, except for very rare circumstances, that 740 score and someone with an 840 credit score, they're basically getting exactly the same deal. There's very minor situations where it might be different. But when it comes to a mortgage, when it comes to a car loan, stuff like that, credit card offers, it's 740. Once you're excellent, you're excellent.
Very good, man. Well, I wanted to ask you a question, and I don't know the answer to this. So do you ever have people hire you to help them get that like 850 credit score or get that 790 credit score, or?
Yeah, so we do get people who call us in the 700s and they just want to get to the next level. Usually we're not going to let them hire us at that point, because the question then is why, and it's always just bragging rights. It's like, well, you really want to pay me to tell you to don't apply for credit, to pay your credit cards down and wait, because that's pretty much how you're going to get there. And I just told you for free. So go write us a nice review and tell your friends and family to call us, and, just be patient and you'll get there.
Yeah. So I know you're a credit repair specialist and you help people get their credit score up so they can buy houses and cars and things like that. If people want to get in contact with you, what's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, sure. They can give us a call for a free consultation. That's 610-350-4683.
A big thank you to Ramsey on that one. That was super helpful to me, and hopefully to you as well. If you got value out of this, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions related to real estate, looking for a realtor, looking to learn about investing, feel free to reach out to me. My information will be in the description down below. All right, have a great day.